Buenos días o buenas tardes, muchachos. Hoy es miércoles, el 18 de noviembre. La meta de hoy, los estudiantes quieren identify the time on the clock as well as what time certain classes are held. So we're continuing this practice. Okay. What we're going to do is we'll have our attendance check-in. Okay, that'll be a similar question to yesterday. And then we'll have our trabajo de timbre, 2 more questions. ¿Cuántos son en su familia? And ¿cómo es un miembro de su familia? So asking about your character's family. Tomorrow, muchachos, we'll have our last set of questions, and then we'll have a speaking practice included. And so we'll talk about how we're going to accommodate that. We don't have a Google Meet today. If you missed one from yesterday and you didn't go through the resources for telling time, there's a couple of things we can do. Okay, I still have here linked the student pace Pear Deck and one of the recorded sessions from yesterday. There's also the handout still if you didn't get a copy of that. And also you can check out this document here, the frequently asked questions from Laura. And I'm still putting these in. So these are some of the questions that you were still left with on the exit ticket yesterday. And so I put some of the answers to those questions here. And like I said, I'm still going through and adding those. So if you add a question from yesterday and you don't see yours there, check back later and it might be there. So that might be helpful for some. All right, and then we have a workbook page. Just like last week, what I've done is given us kind of a form. They'll have us make a copy. And so I put the link to the actual PDF, but you will put your answers here on the document. Okay, I just feel like for a lot of people, that's a pretty good way of doing it, especially on the last part. So there's 4 sections. Okay, on the last section, it asks you to fill in your schedule with the time. Okay, it doesn't specifically ask you on the workbook page, but I would like you to do that in complete sentences, and I gave you an example of how we would do that. Okay, if you're not sure what time your classes start, you can check your blue book. Hopefully you have that laying around. That has the times in it. We're going to skip lunch for this one, so just do your 8 classes, your core classes and related arts classes. Okay. All right, muchachos. And then it's pretty much open from there. We will not have an exit ticket. We don't have culture today because there's a couple of things I want to make sure you can work on. Okay. We have our practica con escribir that's due today by the end of the day. Okay. So that was our writing practice that we started on Friday. Okay. So if you did not finish that up, make sure you do that. You can also work on any of your assignments, or if you have missed a trabajo de timbre, okay, all of the questions are here. So if you missed a question or two, you can go back through there. Also, Estudio Libre, I've added resources for Estudio Libre for time. And also I filled in some of the gaps. I added a quizzes for La Escuela and adjetivos posesivos. Okay, and there's a couple of things for Laura, so we can get some good practice. Also, if you haven't checked it out, I have here the Chapter 3 study guide that I'm filling out as we go. Okay, and what that looks like is this. For each section, I'm kind of giving you what you should know and some examples, and then any handouts that we got, so you can have that as a place to check out anything. So there you go. That's an option for us for just some good review and making sure we're on track. All right, muchachos, que tengan un